The Fusion Cable's Velocity Pro training program is designed to develop arm speed, core strength, and rotational power, leading to an accelerated fastball. Get your Fusion Cable set up. Remember, for the Velocity Pro workout, we're gonna be going with 2 high mounts spread out between the posts at around a chest level, and then 2 around the shin or ankle. Now that we've got everything set up, we're gonna get ready with a nice chest stretch. Move out into a bit of resistance, have those hands out wide. Notice now with the Fusion Cables, we've got a separated position so that we can really stretch out our chest in the angles that we need. Hold this stretch for about 15 seconds, and then we're gonna spin around and cross our arms in a nice position where we can get a good reverse shoulder stretch. You're gonna slide that hand behind your back, and we're gonna ride it up towards our shoulder blade. You may feel a little tightness in your shoulder, but that's why we do this stretch. We've got 15 seconds on the left, 15 seconds on the right. Be sure that your opposite arm is just out of the way. The stretch is for the rear arm. After the Fusion reverse stretch, we're now gonna move into an overhead stance. Bring those hands up over your head. Keep in mind, with that separated position with the Fusion Cables, we're gonna have a great activation to keep a good center. Keeping a good center is essential for developing velocity. So at all times using the Fusion Cables, we're gonna have to maintain a center during these specific static holds and exercises. Now we'll be moving on to the Fusion Cables cross shoulder stretch. You're gonna lean out to the side and let that arm lengthen across your chest. Make sure that you stay rotated away. We never wanna face the fence here. We're trying to lengthen out our traps and our deltoids. So keep that cross position and really lengthen out for that 15 seconds. Flip around, get the other arm before we move on. Next, we're gonna face the field and let our arm rotate backwards. You're gonna really get a great stretch for your external rotators. Sink back, take a deep breath, and try to maintain good posture. Remember, if you let your rib cage shift out, you arch your back, we're really not getting a good stretch for our shoulder. Maintain that good posture, keep your scaps nice and squeezed, and let the shoulder rotate. Make sure that you complete both arms for that 15 seconds. We've got to stay opposite and even here as we move through the activation phase. The final activation set is going to challenge both your core positioning as well as your rotational ability. Walk back from the fence and chamber your arm back in that 90-degree angle. Remember, as a thrower, to throw harder, we need to get great separation between our lower half and upper half to get rotational velocity. So rock back, chamber that arm in that good 90-degree angle, and stay in a split position, low to the ground. Let's just get some great activation for another 15 seconds. If you're having trouble balancing during this exercise, be sure that you practice as much as you can until you can feel comfortable in this position. This is where you develop the most velocity standing in this position. The following exercises in Velocity Pro are all active dynamic sets. We're going to be incorporating our lower half and moving through full range of motion resistance to get our body ready to perform with maximal velocity. First, we're going to be challenging our front half, getting a nice easy warm-up. Stand in a neutral position, get your arms out nice and wide, and we're going to be completing a forward fusion fly. Make sure your elbows never go behind your back. We want to be just working forward, getting nice and loose. Keep your shoulder blades pinched as you move forward to get a great squeeze out front. Complete 15 reps, shake your arms a little bit, and then we're gonna move down into a split static hold. Get down in a good throwing position and split your legs out. Here we're gonna be activating the lower half. Take your arms out to the side and get a good static hold. Squeeze your trunk, do not arch your back. This is gonna be, again, for a simple 15 seconds. It's only activation while incorporating our lower half. After the 15-second hold, don't stand up. You're gonna stay down in your legs, and we're gonna extend out forward. We're gonna reach through our legs and try to get out way in front of our foot. Come back into that neutral position and then reach again for 15 reps. Notice your trunk should move forwards and backwards, similar to the throwing motion. We wanna get all of those muscles throughout our core as well as our hips and groin loose during this specific movement. As your body fatigues, we're gonna be moving into a trunk turning phase here. Hold that chest position and rock your hands from side to side, really maintaining good upright position. If your legs are burning and you're not quite strong enough for these series of exercises, stand up quickly, kick your legs, and then get back down in to finish up your 15 seconds. You'll have a slight break before we move into the reverse exercises, but when we move forward, we want to try to string all these together to get the body good and warmed up. After you complete the entire forward movement rotation, you're then going to switch your dominant leg and complete them from that angle as well. We want to make sure that we develop our hips as well as our trunk during these movements all the way through, with both legs being the dominant forward leg. The next portion of Velocity Pro is going to be focused on our rear side or posterior side of all of our muscles. These are our decelerators that are going to help us stay healthy and injury-free when working at maximum velocity. So now we're going to be facing the fence and we're going to cross our arms and hold the comfort grip handles. Our first position is going to be a down and a split-legged position with our arms out nice and wide. We've got our 15-second static hold, chest up without our back arched, good posture. Keep those shoulder blades nice and squeezed. Next, we're going to be doing the same thing we did with the front side, but we're doing it in reverse. So we're going to reach forward, get great extension with our arms out over that front side, and then we're going to be bringing it all the way back, squeezing those shoulder blades and getting in a nice upright position, balanced and centered. Continue that motion for 15 reps. At any time, if your legs are burning too bad, stand up and kick them around. You will get stronger. The key is that we have to be powerful in a split position because that's what baseball is all about, rotational power out of our hips. So let's build this strength as we move into the next exercise. After you finish up your fusion mobility reverse fly, we're now going to uncross our hands while staying down in a lower position. Now we're going to bring our hands out wide, maintaining that same activation, but we're going to be dropping from side to side. If you leave your hands crossed, it's not going to feel right in your body. So uncross your hands using like side resistance and drop down at the trunk. Take a short break in between the right leg or left leg dominant side and then switch. Remember, we will always work in both sides to build strength in our core and hips. To finish the full body movements, we're now going to go into the fusion cables power turns. We're going to be using both the high and the low anchors, and we're going to get our trunk and legs moving explosively, all with a stable top half. You're going to utilize one handle and clip all 4 bands together, reaching out as far as we can, getting great extension. You're going to be explosive through the lower half. Similar to pitching or hitting, we're going to be exploding through the bottom half, rotating up through the trunk. We're going to do 15 on the left, 15 on the right, and repeat 3 total rounds. This exercise is one of the most important throughout the series so that we can start moving explosive through our hips, working to get that separation in our lower half, following with our upper half. Now that our body is great and warmed up, we're going to get really focused on our shoulder. Stand out to the side, slightly away from the fence, and stick one hand underneath your arm. We're going to externally rotate, getting our external rotators for 15 reps on our left and our right. Next, we're immediately going to go up on top, get a good L with the body, and then we're going to externally rotate again for another 15 reps. The Velocity Pro workout can be utilized in 2 different forms. You can use it as a simple warm-up before throwing, moving through the series 1 complete time, or off-season conditioning or off-day conditioning with 2 to 3 rounds of the entire sequence. Build velocity, stability, and strength utilizing the Fusion Cables Velocity Pro training program today.